This is a review of Tamiya's 1995 Cobra R Mustang. It's in 1/24 scale. This car is supposed to be white. There's 250 of the real versions of this car built. All of them in white. But for some reason, I've been modeling since I was about 15 years old, and I never can spray white. So this is a color called antique white. The Cobra decals on this are from eBay. They're metal transfers. They're very nice. It's a 1/24 scale kit. It comes with Cobra's, Mustang logos, and a lot of other things. As you can tell, there is no horse in the grill of this car, and that is because I broke it off when I took it apart. I've had this model kit for about 10 years. Paid $35 for it 10 years ago. Now it's worth about $300. Now, there's some special features on this. As you can see, the front bumper, it's basically the same bumper that was used in 96 to 98 for the Cobra cars, but the fog lights, or the fog light holes, actually in this car direct air into the brakes to cool them. Now you can also see that there are fender flares on this car, and the hood is a 2-tier, almost cow-inducted type hood. The rear spoiler also is a little bit different. It's most in the hobby call it a crab claw rear spoiler. But I had this car and I didn't paint it, so I just built it. And where the scoops, where the fender flares were, and where the other parts mounted, the glue actually turned a shitty brown color. So I decided to take it apart and completely paint it. So I went with this color, which is antique white. Almost everything came apart and went back together well, except for the decals on the wheels came off on 2 of them, so I just used black paint to paint them in. Now, the engine in this car is a 5.8 liter, which is a 351 cubic inch engine. It's rated at 300 horsepower in the real cars. There's 250 of these cars made. To get the car, you actually had to go to Ford and show a racing license and a resume for either you or the driver that you wanted to run the car. It was intended to run IMSA, SCCA, NHRA, and IHRA racing. A lot of parts from this vehicle were later integrated into the SVT Cobra project. The front bumper appeared in 96, and the wheels appeared in 98. I actually owned a 97 Cobra. which I sold for a 2005 Mustang GT, which I kick myself in the ass for every day. But that's a different story. This does have the stock 95 wheel, rear taillights. The rear bumper is a regular Mustang bumper, as you can tell. Later years, the later Cobras all just, instead of saying Mustang or Mustang GT, said Cobra. This is a very detailed model. Almost all of the Cobra R models that came out had the tan and black interior. I had this originally tan and black, but when I redid it, I just went to all black. It was a lot easier. A very nicely detailed car. If you can pick one up cheap, I'd say get it. Just don't knock the front grille apart.